We have still got a couple of deals, in all seriousness, that are yet to be done. One is Bobby Hill. I'm wondering if that deal is now dead. You're the director of footy at GWS. We're about to be joined by your head of footy and list manager, Jason McCartney. We'll ask him about that deal. The Herald Sun is reporting that Bobby Hill has broken down in tears this afternoon with his trade request to Essendon hanging by a thread. His own manager, Andrew McDougall, had this to say on Trade Radio a little earlier today.
Bobby's quite stressed and nervous at this point, as you can imagine, and going through a few trades with Cole over the years, this seems like it's going to be a very delicate one for Bobby, and he's really keen to get there. So it is a very intense time. So it's definitely hard to go back. Very, very hard for a young man to go back.
I'm baffled by that part. Very hard to go back.
No, it's not hard at all. He'd be welcome back.
Why is it hard for him to go back, though?
Well,
it's not as though he requested a trade 6 weeks ago.
No, it was like what are we up to 4 days ago.
Yeah, I feel for any player wanting to get from one club to another and it doesn't happen, but I'm not sure you can go to the club that you contracted to 4 days out from the deadline, a month after saying that you wanted to stay. Anyway, it's all for discussion as we build up towards 7:30. Jason McCartney is the GWS football boss and he joins us live on Sports Day. Jason, welcome to you.
Hi Sam, Jimmy, how you going?
We good? Bobby Hill, is it completely dead in the water, that deal? Will we be staying at the Giants?
It's never been live, to be honest. Bobby will be, he's a required player at the Giants, got a year to run on his contract. We're respectful and understand that what's presented, which has only been presented 4 or 5 days ago, we've got things in place around Bobby and his partner, Georgia, for when they return, and the baby's due on the 20th of December, which is a really exciting time for both. So, yeah, we'll continue to work closely with Bobby and family to make sure he's got the support around him in Sydney.
So, Jason, I'm a little bit confused about this one. Bobby's a West Australian. I think his partner is as well. Why the request
That's correct, yeah.
Why the request to Victoria then, and specifically one club in Victoria?
Yeah, good question. Obviously, there is a family connection in Melbourne, with Brad being Bobby's cousin in Melbourne. And I'm led to believe Bobby also has a cousin playing in at Essendon in their AFLW program. So, yeah, that's it. But you're right, both Bobby and Georgia are from Perth. So, yeah, look, it's one that we've been clear all along. Like, he played 17 games this year. We allowed him to come back to Sydney during the season when we were away in the hub. And there was a period of time there that when he rejoined us. But he's a valuable player, first and foremost. It's really important to us. We don't have a lot of small forwards. And Toby Green isn't playing for the first 5 games in season 2022. So that's where it stands.
You just heard his manager there saying it would be difficult to go back. Jason, are you disappointed that this was sprung on the club late in the trade period? If you'd had more time, do you think you could have got closer to satisfying both the club and also Bobby's wishes?
Oh, look, it's one of those ones. If I use Jeremy Finlayson as an example, that was something that was 3 months in the making. So, look, and I understand it. I'm quite respectful of Andrew and Colin as the management team at Corporate Sports, because they've got a job to do and trying to do the best thing by their client, these wishes at the moment. But we've got a job to do running a footy club, and the business is about winning games. So we can't go backwards. We went into this trade period to be with a focus on the work was done last year, really. Having picked 2 and 13, we're wrapped with that. And then obviously some things have been presented to us along the way, being Rory Lobb and some deals around some pick swaps and things potentially with Hawthorn that we've absolutely explored. But we're really comfortable with 2 and 13, that's for sure, going to the draft.
Did you get close to securing Luke Breust? And is that still alive?
I don't think that will be happening, but Hawthorn's strategy has been very clear about trying to improve a draft position. So with those conversations they've had with us, we've workshopped with them on a couple of players and a couple of scenarios, which obviously we've been upfront all the way along, also with Rory Lobb, that, yeah, when it comes your way, these opportunities, you definitely want to explore them. But we're also mindful of the fact that our money is invested in our playing group. So to facilitate any of these deals, obviously we're happy to move picks around, but we need some support with the salary piece. So, yeah, you get close on a couple, but nothing's eventuated there. So we're quite comfortable, like I said, with that draft hand.
Okay, so the deal for Bobby Hill looks gone. It does for Luke Bruce as well. Any late deals for the Giants pending in the next hour and a quarter?
No. So it's just been the work that's been done. The things have been put forward from sort of obviously Bobby's side of things with management and a couple of clubs there, Essendon in particular. But it's like I said, it's been nothing we've been willing to entertain. So it should be, Sam and Jimmy, it should be a lot quieter over the next hour and 15 minutes in comparison to last year, which is nice.
Are you disappointed not to get Rory Lobb deal done?
It was a long shot. It was a long shot because the financial constraints around it. And in fairness to Rory, he was prepared to look at adjusting his contract. But I worked with Colin Young on that one. We were up front from the start. There was limited cash available from us, so there'd need to be a contribution elsewhere. So that wasn't forthcoming, and in the end, he didn't actually request a trade.
A lot of media reports, Jason, in the last few days referring to the history from last year between Essendon and GWS over the Jai Caldwell deal. I think Paul Brasher was quoted as saying that the club had sour grapes. Is there still a fractured relationship there? How are your negotiations with Adrian Dodoro 12 months on for Bobby Hill?
Negotiations. Well, it hasn't been a negotiation, to be honest, so I get that right. But the chats with Adrian have been fine. Everyone's got a job to do. We've all got our clubs to represent, try and go about it in the right manner. This one, it's just different because it's a contracted player. And like I said all along, we're not prepared to lose Bobby. So there hasn't had to be a lot of discussion, to be honest. I know everyone's been cheering for it. Adrian and myself tend to deal with each other most years for whatever reason. But, yeah, there hasn't had to be any negotiation over this. So it's been pretty straightforward.
Just tuning into Sports Day, Jason McCartney, the GWS footy boss, is on the line. We're here with the GWS footy director, Jimmy Bartel. He is actually in the room. Hard for him to ask questions of a man he works pretty closely with. Jace, but before you go, it has been a trade period that's dragged on a bit, but there is a reason for that because of everything that's happened with COVID and list sizes and still a lack of clarity and knowledge around money in the game and in TPP going forward. Do you expect that the trade period will be busier in the coming years when the game returns to some sort of normality?
Yeah, you'd think so, Sam. Obviously, everyone's feeling the pinch from the cuts last year because most of that money was deferred into 2022. So we still don't have an exact line of sight of what the TPP position will be for next year. So everyone's carrying forward money. To be honest, there's probably only maybe 3 or 4 clubs that have had money to spend in this period. So look, it served its purpose again. It's really important. Opportunities present. It's the only time of the year outside the draft you can actually improve your list position. So obviously not as much has gone on in recent years, but I'm sure it'll be back at high levels next year and beyond when everyone's got a bit more clarity.
And the Giants back contending for a flag next year?
Well, that's the plan. We were, it was really proud. We're all proud of what the group was able to achieve this year, especially along with the Swans being on the road for 75 days. So, yeah, we're also under no illusion, though. There's a bit of a gap between what the top 4 sides are producing. So, yeah, we've got some work to do, but we feel we've got a really good platform to build from. And the other thing is, generally speaking, at this time of year, we're dealing out players. So apart from Jeremy going to Port Adelaide, we've maintained our list. And pick 2 and 13, we would assume will be really handy players that actually could give us a bit of a spark next year, along with some of the young guys that got some exposure in 2021.
Who are you going to get at pick 2? Jason, given there's a couple of father-sons going early, who's going to end up in Giants colours?
Well, you tell me some names. I've got about 3 or 4 firmly in my mind, but Adrian Caruso and Emma Quayle and the team will do a fantastic job, which I look forward to jumping in with them on that as of 7:30 tonight. So it's really exciting for the club because obviously that deal was, we didn't expect it to be pick 2, to be honest, when we did that, but that was really the genesis of this pick 2 is obviously linked to Collingwood, and it was something that was based out of the 3rd first-round pick we got for Jeremy Cameron last year. So that's turned into absolute gold. So, yeah, we look forward to picking a great young player at pick 2.
Just thought, Jimmy, I'd try to catch him out. Who's it going to end up going pick 2? Dacos and
Is
Darcy.
Jimmy awake?
Yeah.
Is Jimmy awake? Is he there?
He wouldn't be employed by the Giants if he gets caught out, mate. He knows that. He's too sharp for you.
Okay, so Dacos, Horn, Francis, and Darcy seem to be the three that are already.
Oh, well, we've only had 485 articles on those three, so yeah, clearly.
Yeah, well, it could be one of many other players that goes to the Giants. It could be Finn Callahan,
Could be.
Ben Hobbs,
Could be.
Josh Ward. Am I getting warmer, Jason?
Could be.
I'm just listening. You're telling the story, Sam. I'm just turning the pages, mate.
Is there some kid from the old Zavs there, Sam? The mafia up there, the old Zavs?
Oh,
Sam,
wow.
did you see the prelim final the other week? The South Adelaide versus Cornell?
No.
Ben Francis' game or the highlights? Oh, yeah.
I saw the highlights. I wasn't actually at the game.
No. You can watch it. You can watch it.
Well,
Mate,
he kept them in the game. He kept them in the game playing.
Single-handedly
Playing as a fourth on baller from the half forward flank from memory, wasn't he?
24 and 3, I think it was.
Unbelievable performance it was. So
Jason,
that
great.
was the first time I really got around to having a look at it.
Okay.
It was very nice.
Well, it's great to have you
Thank
on.
We've got a good one.
And if you're thinking about making a trade the next hour and 12 minutes, you can't because you just declared to Sportslay that you're done.
Done. Over. Thanks, guys. Have a nice night.
Thanks, Jace. Jace McCartney there, GWS footy boss.